First question, what is the difference between luminous objects and non-luminous objects? Very easy, even in your previous grades you have discussed this one. Luminous objects are the objects which can emit light, which can produce their own light, no problem, right? Which can emit light. So if we take the sun, now if you see how we see things, right? What happens is there are objects which can produce, which can emit the light, right? There are questions, okay, I'll answer them, right? And there are, let's say, another object. It's a book. There's a book like this. Right, there's a book like this. Now there's sun. Oh, imagine this is the bulb, right? It can emit its own light. So what will happen? Light rays will be emitted from that and they will be coming directly to our eyes. So we can see them, no problem. But if you take other objects, that means the objects which don't have that property to emit light, they need light from somewhere. That's why at night, most probably you may be switching off all the lights when you are sleeping in your bedroom. So there are objects, there is the table, there are books and everything, but you cannot see any of those things. The reason is objects are there, our eyes are there, both these things are there, but there is no light source. So all the other objects which cannot emit the light, just the reflection of light which comes from the luminous object. So the objects which can produce the light are luminous objects, actually emit the light. The objects which cannot emit the light is given the name. This is reflection. This is not emitting, right? Is given the name non-luminous objects, right? Is there anyone sharing screen? The options you are due to some reason, right? Due to some reason, I have disabled those things, right? Okay, no problem. All right. So then you know that this is the answer for the first one, right? Then if you take light and send it through objects, through objects, some objects will allow the passage of light through them. So if there is such kind of an object, we cannot see through that one. We can see through that one, no problem. The reason is light passes through that one. I'm going to draw it, right? These are very easy things. Light can pass through those objects without any problem. So if there is something behind that thing, light comes from that one and it hits on our eyes, right? We don't say hit on our eyes, right? But for this lesson, let's say you know the process you learn in grade 9, how the vision is created. You know everything, right? Okay. So we can see it, no problem. That particular object, imagine it's a glass, a transparent polythene. They allow the light to pass through them. Such objects which allow the light to pass through them is given the name transparent. There are a lot of materials, right? We don't call them objects, we call them materials. If you have any question, send it here, right? I will love you to talk, right? I will allow, right? So the objects which allow the light to pass through them is given the name transparent objects, right? And there are other objects or materials, yes, they allow the light to pass through them, no problem. But when they allow the light to pass through them, those light rays are deviated for several sides, right? This is the object. I draw it like a straight line now. Light is coming, no problem, like this. But after going through this object, the light is going to be deviated, light rays. One here, the other one is here, the other one is here, like this, right? So light is passing through this one. So we can see, imagine there is a bulb. We can see something, no problem. But we cannot clearly see that one. The best example is there are some glasses in bathroom windows, in some office windows, not windows, doors, office rooms, right? They are covered with such glasses. So we can see if there is a light is switched on, we can see. Sometimes we can see people are moving, but we cannot clearly see, right? So such objects are given the name translucent, right? Okay. All these papers, there are some papers, right? Oil papers is another good example for this. So materials. So transparent, translucent, and the other one is the most available one around us. That is opaque. There are a lot of materials which doesn't allow the light to pass through that at all. It doesn't allow, right? So we cannot see what is behind that one. Transparent, translucent, and opaque. These are the three types according to the ability of passing light through them, right? Okay. Next one, again, these are very easy actually, right? Grade 9 knowledge. Draw ray diagrams to show convergent light beam, divergent light beam, and a parallel light beam, right? Very easy. I'll quickly draw them. Convergent, collect. Right? You cannot remember C to C. Right? Convergent, collect. So when the light is passing through several objects, some mirrors, some lenses, the light rays, parallel light rays, collect like this to one point. Not necessarily to one point, right? If they get collected, right? Not necessarily, but when you are drawing, it's better if you draw it like this. Convergent. Divergent is the opposite of that one. It starts from one place and spreads for everywhere. Like this. Beam. Divergent beam. Beam means a collection of rays, right? Parallel, very easy. At least draw 3 rays. Parallel. Not for a particular angle, right? Parallel, this is also parallel, right? Parallel beam of light, right? Okay. Next one. This is again very easy but very important. This is the first place where an examination question was based. Actually, we discussed that one, right? To name the angles and all the material, all the parts involved in the reflection of light, right? Okay. They have given it in right, yes. This angle, I'll take it like this. Okay. In the book, it is given as this one as the mirror, right? Mirror is an example. The best name is reflecting surface. Reflecting surface is the best name to name this one, right? And also we draw a hypothetical line. Now it will be somewhat difficult for me today, right? It means I have to draw these things carefully, right? Right. We draw a hypothetical line that should be perpendicular to this surface. It is given the name normal. I'm not going to mark it. All right, I'll mark it here, right? Perpendicular to this one, 90 degrees. Right. Okay. Then rays get fallen on this one. Right. Actually, you should draw it at the place where the ray falls, right? Right. This is the ray which falls on the surface. We call it as the incident ray. Now, please remember, very important. All the angles are measured from the normal. Ekai normal ekak andinne. Please don't measure the angle with other places. Starting from other. All the angles are measured from the normal. From normal, what is the amount of degrees? From normal. From normal. All the reflections, refraction, and everything, right? Angles are measured and named by taking the normal as their base, right? Right. Then the other one is going like this. Right. Now this hits on this surface and get reflected. Reflecting ray. Incident ray, the ray which falls on the surface. The ray which gets reflected, reflected ray, right? Angle of incidence, we give the name I, simple I, right? This angle with the normal, the angle which the emitting ray, reflecting ray forms with the angle is given the name angle of reflection, not refraction, right? Refraction only happens when the ray only gets bends, right? Here it totally gets reflected. What is the difference between refraction and reflection? What's the difference? In reflection, it comes to the same media. Oh, actually it doesn't change its media. Air, let's take this is glass surface, right? Air, glass, but it only travels on air. In refraction, it travels to another media, right? Refraction, right? Okay, now let's Mn is the reflecting surface. Mn, reflecting surface, right? Even if you have given the name mirror, no problem, right? AB, incident ray. BC, reflecting ray. BX, normal. I, angle of incidence. R, angle of reflection, right? Using a ray diagram, show how an image is formed when a point of, right, okay. I hope this is clear, right? If you have any question, just ask me, huh? Right. Right. Okay. In most of the cases, I'll just draw lines, right? If I try to use the ruler, it will consume a lot of time, right? Now we are asked to draw how an image is formed at a plane mirror, right? A point object. Just take a point object, right? We don't consider the objects with height. So if you take objects with height, you will have to take at least 4 points. Points හතරක් ගන්න වෙනවා height එකක් තියෙන object එකක් ගන්නකොට, right? ඒ කියන්නේ point object වගේ දෙකක් කියලා ගන්න. හරි? You will draw them in A levels, but here just what you want to know is how to draw a point object. If you know point objects, then as you have free time, draw it for an object with some height. This is one point, this is the second point. Image right? Very easy, right? Very easy. Try it at home. I'm going to do for a point object, right? Okay. So what is the theory here? At least you should take 2 rays. At least you should take 2 rays. It's very difficult to take it very accurately here because I'm not measuring the angles. But measure the angles. I will tell you what are the requirements. Draw it. Now one advice. Now here I am drawing with very difficult. It is very difficult to draw. A lot of difficulties I am drawing here. So you should definitely draw. Reflections, refractions, have an example. When you are drawing it 3 times, fourth time without drawing, you will be very easily you will be able to identify everything, right? We can make a exam. When it is kept in this position, what is the size of the object? What is the whether it is inverted? What are the characteristics of the object? If it is asked in MCQ, you don't have the time. So you should be able to recall these diagrams. So you should draw. Right? Yeah? Right. Let's take this one as the mirror surface. Right. A ray falls on this one. Take the second ray like this. These are the normals. Right. So these 2 angles should be equal, right? And I'll try to take it as equal as possible. Right. I1, I2, right. So I1 should be equal to R1. I2 should be equal to R2. coming like this, right? And here, you should draw it backwards. You extend the line like this. Right. When you extend like this, you will see that they meet at one place. Now here, you can see the real two rays. The two rays are not really meeting at one place. What is meeting is the backward extended rays, right? So the image formed here is not a true image, right? True image means an image which can be taken into a, yes, screen, right? So by drawing a ray diagram, how to identify a true image? We are not taking the ray diagram into image, right? Ray diagram mechanism true the when we are drawing a ray diagram, the way to identify whether it is a true image or virtual is if the two rays are actually meeting at one place, that is a true image. If the diagrams are, rays are not meeting at one place, that is a virtual image, right? Okay. So this is the virtual image formed, and this is how an image is formed, right? Now we can see these two distances should be equal, right? D1 should be equal to D2, right? This is where the I is placed, right? Right. So the characteristics of an image, yeah, you see that on every day, right? On a daily basis, you comb your hair, right? So you will see these things, right? The object is similar to the size. We cannot talk about the size here, right? Object is similar to the size of the image. So image is similar to the size of the object. The object distance is equal to the image distance. Second thing, right? The image is a virtual image. The image is upright. When you are standing, yes, you are standing. You can see you are standing, right? So we call it as the upright image. But there's a small inversion. Your left side is at the right side. Your left and right is interchanged. We call it as the lateral inversion. Lateral inversion. So those are the characteristics of an image formed by a plane mirror. Plane mirror. Right? Okay. Any question? Any question, right? No questions, right? So if so, I'm going to erase this one. Right, no questions from you. So draw all these things, right? Again, I'm going to advise you, draw all these things, right? All the images. Right, next question. Let's move to question people. Draw and name the, yes, spherical mirror. Now we have talked about the plane mirrors, right? Then we are going to form curved mirrors. We can produce curved mirrors in different way, right? But the curved mirrors that we use in this lesson or that we consider in this lesson, even in A-level physics, we consider that they are parts of spheres. There is a glass sphere, huge glass sphere. You're going to cut a part of that one. When you cut a part of a sphere, what you get is a curved surface. Sphere curved surface. So all the mirrors here we consider as part of a sphere, right? So we use a sphere or the characteristics of a sphere to identify several physical characteristics of these curved mirrors. So make a curved mirrors we consider sphere parts with it, right? Okay. So let's consider a sphere. A sphere right. Okay. Right. So I'm going to cut two surfaces. First one like this, cut and remove. Right. Treat this in 3D, right? Take this in 3D. I'm going to cut another part here and separate this one. This one is separated here and this one is separated here. So I will get a mirror like this. Let's say a glass like this, right? Glass like this and another glass like this. Now what I'm going to do is, right. Now what I'm going to do is I can convert this into any mirror I like. I want to convert this into concave mirror, right? I'm going to paste mercury in this surface. Concave mirror. This is concave mirror. This should be a convex mirror, right? I'm going to paste mercury here. Right. Now I have produced two different types of curved mirrors from this one, right? So when you are considering this as a sphere, you know that spheres have a center. Center, right? So this center, the center of the sphere, right? So there is a distance from here to here, here to here, here to here, likewise, right? So the center of the sphere, which this mirror was separated, center of this sphere, which this mirror was separated, is given the name the center of curvature of that mirror. So all the mirrors are separated from, all the mirrors in our lesson, right, are separated from spheres, right? Okay. That sphere had a center. That center is the center of curvature of our mirror, right? Okay. Center of curvature. So I think that is very clear for you. Now I'm going to erase this sphere, right? Okay. Now that is the center of curvature. And if you take this mirror, right? This mirror also has a center, geographical center. You don't say it like this, but this mirror also has a center. If you can fold it into two non-band mirrors, you will find it, right? Imagine this is the center. Here, this is the center. Right. We call it as the pole. We call it as the pole, the center of the mirror, pole. This is center of curvature. This is pole. This is pole. Right. Now, the line which connects the center of curvature and the pole. Here also there's a line. Here also there's a line. My line is within the line. Somehow. Line which connects with it. Right. Center of curvature and the pole. Center of curvature and the pole is given the name principal axis. Principal axis. Principal axis. Principal axis. Right. One question. Can you share screen and do this? Right. I'll try, right? Right. After the discussion, I will try. Okay. So these are the properties, right? Okay. Make killing right. Okay. Option killing virtual whiteboard use right. I hope you have drawn these things, right? Right. Now we are going to move to the curved mirrors. When you are trying to identify the images, formed by curved mirrors, when the object is kept at different places. First, you should know some basic, or let's say principle, right? Or common, whatever. There are some rays which are common. If it comes here, it will be reflected from here, likewise, right? So you should know these basic reflections, basic patterns, basic rays, whatever, right? There are 5, there are 3, likewise, in every lens, in every mirror, there are basic lens, right? So first you should know few of those basic rays, right? Okay. First, what they ask is draw ray diagrams to show images formed by concave mirrors. First, they're asking us to get the concave mirrors, right? Concave mirrors. Okay. So when you are drawing, I asked you to draw, you should draw everything, right? You don't need to draw a mirror like this. It's very difficult. Then mark the principal axis. It's difficult, right? So when you are drawing, just draw the mirror or the lens for two rules at least, right? Small one like this, and draw the axis like this, because this is the line which we consider. All the rays are coming here to hit this one, reflect or refract, right? So draw a line like this here, denote in a very small way, right? The lens or the mirror in this case, right? So don't try to draw the mirror as a large structure, then all the, what do you call it? The image, all the drawing will be, oh no, I don't know, right? It will be ugly. It will not, it will be, difficult to read, right? Okay, and it is very difficult to identify the refractions or reflections and all those things, right? So just denote, we call it as denote the lens or the mirror here and draw the axis like this and draw it like this. So it will be very easy for you, right? Then let's take the principal axis. Now I'm not going to use the ruler, right? Okay. Right. Before this one, there's a small thing to be said. I'm not going to stress that one because you learned that since grade 9, right? Very easy. So if we take concave mirrors, the light comes to this one as parallel rays, gets collected to one place, right? You have drawn these things, you have marked these things. So these are very easy. Revision is very stress done already, right? All the rays, parallel rays which comes like this, get collected to one place, and that place is given the name, the focus, F focus. The length from the pole to focus is given the name focal length. Focal length. The other mirror, the light hits on this one, right? Gets reflected. So here, this is not a true focus. You learn these things, right? It's as this is the revision, right? So make stress right? The focus right? Okay. You can take, there are 5 rays given for you, right? You can take any 3. You can draw images with 2, but please remember how to take 3, because in most of the cases, sometimes we cannot use the ray which is going through F. Right? The ray which is going through F until the object distance is beyond F. Through F right? Okay. So let's take the first ray. These are the main rays that you should know, right? If some ray comes here through the principal axis, along the principal axis, that will hit, the curves. Curves can get, the objects, right? So this is circumference, right? Circumference, if you draw any line across the center to the circumference, right? That is perpendicular, right? Radius is perpendicular. So this is perpendicular. Later also this is important, right? So this ray comes back in the same, or goes back, reflected back in the same path. First one, easy, right? Second one, if some ray comes parallel to the principal axis, that goes through F, focus. Right? Next one is the opposite of that part. If a ray comes through F, that goes parallelly. It goes parallel, right? The other one, if a ray comes here with an angle, it reflects with the same angle. We discussed this even in the reflection part, right? Next one, right? This is mathematics actually, right? This is C, center of curvature. Now I'm going to draw a ray like this. Now you will see this ray and the center of curvature. Sorry, and the principal axis. This ray and the principal axis are as two different rays or two different lines, but both of them are same because both of them are starting from the center of curvature. In mathematics, you may have learned, right? All the lines which are coming through the center of curvature or the center, right, are perpendicular to the circumference. Actually, even though we draw the line like this one should be like this. Curved glass make a perpendicular, right? So all the rays coming through C, are perpendicular to the mirror surface. So they are again going along the same path, right? This one coming through C, center of curvature, and coming along the principal axis are both same. Right? So these are the basic ways that we take when we are drawing the images. Right? Now let's try to draw. Go down. Now please draw these things with me if you have not drawn. If you have drawn, very good. Draw twice again. Right? Right. Take it here. F C F C. Right. Okay. First position. We can come from here to here, no problem. Let's go from here to here. Right. Again, mirror surface. Right. The object is I'll take that up. Object is kept here. Object is kept here. Now please see what happens. This is reflection. So all the rays should come here. Right? So you should see what happens, right? You should have the idea. In mirrors, they reflect the rays. Basic. All the rays should be hitting this surface and come to this place, right? Right. Let's take this one. Goes parallelly and comes along it. You can take any two rays, right? Any question? No, right. Oh, yes, there's a question. So do corresponding angles, alternate angles. Which parallel lines, Rishabh? These angles alternate angles mathematics which are similar. That is important in trigonometry, I guess. Trigonometry right. Some of these things are okay. I am taking the.
I mean, like.
Yes, Rishabh?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
So, are those parallel lines and these parallel lines, are they different or are they the same?
The same parallel line which is coming parallel to this one. This one means the principal axis. Parallel lines any line which comes parallel to the principal axis. Hits here and goes to the F.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Right. Parallel I just say parallel because the whatever ray which is parallel to the principal axis, right? Parallel here. Right. Next one, make down. Hits with I. Now I cannot measure these things, but you should measure, right? Just goes with up, right. Now when you are looking at these two rays, you will see that they never meet here. They never meet here, right? The eye is here, but they never meet here. Then you should see whether can they meet here? If we draw them backward, can they meet? Yes, let's try. Yeah, when you extend them, you will see they meet. They meet at one place. Yes, this is the place. So the image which is formed here is again not a real image. What is the reason? The rays didn't meet really. They didn't actually meet with each other. Only an extended part of them meet with each other. Right. Now let's try to identify the characteristics. First one, image is, you can see this is the real object. This is the image. Image is larger than the object. Image is larger than the object. Image is not real. Not real. And it is upright. Not real. And it is upright. Those are the characteristics. Right? Okay. Any question? Right. What are the characteristics? Right? First one. Let's go for the next place. Next place, let's try to keep it on F. The first place is in between the F and the mirror. Right? Second place on F. F first ray comes like this and goes. Second ray comes like this and goes. So if you have taken all the angles properly, accurately, you will get two parallel lines. They don't meet here. Even though we extend them, they don't meet at this side also. Two parallel lines. So we call it, the image is formed at infinity. Infinity. Divide nobody knows the infinity, right? The image is formed in infinity. So we don't know the infinity, so we cannot see an image. Properties discuss right? We don't discuss the properties for an image formed in infinity. Infinity discuss right? Second one is formed in infinity. Now you will see a nice pattern here, right? Try to identify that one. Next. Right? So you will have to draw them. Observing is not a good way to clarify these things, right? Right, F and C. Now we kept it on F. Now we are going to keep it between F and C. Parallel line goes through F. Now I'm going to take this one, right? Comes through F and goes parallel, right? Right. Easy enough, right? Now here you will see I took different one because here I don't have to deal with angles, only with being parallel, right? Here you will see an image is formed. Now the two reflecting rays actually meet with each other. So the image formed is real. So this is the first time we found a real image when the object is in between F and C. Object size is smaller than the image size. Or you can say image is larger than the object. Right? You can see this one side is changed. The head is downward now. So the image is inverted. Image is inverted. It is formed beyond 2C. Sorry, beyond C actually, right? Beyond C. It's better to say beyond C, right? Okay. Is it clear for you? Right. Beyond C. Now I'm going to keep the object on C. Right. Again, the same line goes through it. Next line comes like this. Not parallel in my case. When you are drawing this properly by measuring all these angles, if you take angles or if you draw these lines properly, when the image, so object is kept on C, when the object is kept on C, the image formed is also formed, or image is also formed on C, right? So same distance. And the size of the image is also same to the size of the object. The only difference is there is an inversion. Inverted object is formed, right? 2C. Right. Next one. Beyond 2C. C. 2C. Right. So beyond C. Again, the same line. Right. Now you can see if we move. If we move the object beyond C, the image is formed in between F and C. The image is formed in between F and C. But now the image is smaller than the object. Object is larger than the image. And the image is inverted. Image is inverted. Next one, we can actually draw that one. If we move the object far away, that means to the infinity, right? Parallel rays will come, the exact opposite of this one, right? If the object is kept on infinity, image is, sorry, if the object is, first one, let's take the first one, right? If the object is kept on F, image is formed in infinity. Object F infinity image. If we keep the object in infinity, second one, if we keep the object in infinity, the image should be formed in F. That is only a logic. We cannot keep that in infinity. Infinity at the end, there's a logic, right? Okay. But according to that logic, this object size should be further reduced. So a very small image should be formed, right? Okay. Is it clear for you? As a question. Snell's law, yes. Snell's law is refraction. Sin I, sin R. Lines අදට වගේ පේන ඇති කමක් නැහැ හරි ඇදයි තමයි ඉන්නේ see ඔව් කැමරා එක ඇදයි නෙවෙයි lines ඇදයි මම හිතන්නේ if I try to keep the ruler on them and if I try to draw them it's difficult අනිත් එක they get erased right මේ කුඩි rule එක වදිනකොට දෙපාරක් විතර මේක මැකෙනවා right check that everything is clear for you බලන්න clear කියලා වෙයි මේක අපරින් ගන්න විදිහ මම කියලා දෙනවා Now let's see if you have drawn this thrice. මේක තුන් පාරක් අඳින්න ඕනේ. ඊට පස්සේ අපිට පුළුවන් මුකුත් අඳින්න. Without drawing in a single ray, we can very quickly identify the image, size and everything. බණ මතක් කරගන්න කතා කරා. බලමු මේ වෙනවද කියලා. Right. Imagine you have drawn it 3 times thrice. තුන් පාරක් යනවා. Right. This is what is important. This is the thing which is important at the examination. In most of the cases, right? Now I'm just going to draw the object and the image, respected image, right? When the object is kept here, what was the image? Try to recall. without drawing a single ray. The object is here. Sorry, image is here. Image is here. When it is on F, object is on F. The image is in infinity. When the object is in between F and C, the image was here. Larger. Right. When the object is here, the image is here. Same size. When the object is further away, when the object is here, the image is FC. Let's draw it here. Here. Should be smaller than this one. Here. Right? When the object is in infinity, the image is here. So the images which are drawn with dotted lines are the virtual images. All the others are real image. Object and image. Then if a question is asked, you should be able to recall quickly. Right. If you can draw it, you can name all the properties of these images. Right? At least if you have tried this for 3 times. Now you have time. You have extra time. Your examination is postponed for 3 months. Right? If this COVID thing wasn't there, now you may be sitting for the examination. You may have finished some of the subjects. Right? December 1st, you are finished. You are finished, right? Examination is also finished and you are finished, right? Now you have the time. And for those who have worked well, right? No problem. Right? Keep on working. Keep on your standard. That means there are very good students who have finished everything, right? And just waiting for the examination, just to finish that and just relax a little bit. Okay? Those who worked hard for 2 years, right? Just wait. That's why I'm giving you papers so you can evaluate yourself, right? And when you are getting marks, you'll be motivated. The others, those who didn't work properly, or didn't work enough, right? You have worked up to some extent, but that is not enough to get an A pass. All of you can get an A pass, even if you start to work today. That means you have done some work. Even though you feel it, you don't know these things, you have at least sit in a class, right? So you know a few things. What you want to do is sharpen that knowledge, just to polish that knowledge, right? So please work on it. Draw this thrice, then you will be able to draw this diagram quickly without drawing a single ray. Image right? Then draw it and fill that diagram, right? That chart that I have given you. Object distance less than focal length. Position of the image greater than the object distance. Yes, we cannot say exact place. Greater than the object distance. I mean, object distance is here. The image distance is here. Right. Real or virtual? Virtual. Dotted lines. Inverted or upright? Upright. Image size larger than the object. Yes, larger than the object. When it is at the focal length, it is formed in infinity. So we don't try to define any property. When the object distance is greater than the focal length and less than the twice of the focal length, that is C. Right? Here. In between here. We are talking about this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th one. We don't draw it. Right? 6th one. 3. Greater than, so position of the image greater than twice of the focal length. Yes. So beyond C. Beyond image. Right? Real. Yes. Real image. No dotted lines. Inverted. Inverted. And larger than the object. See? Larger than the object. Where is twice the focal length? Where is here? Right? Position of the image is also twice the focal length. Right? Real image, inverted, same size of the object. Real image, inverted, same size of the object. Right? Then when the object distance is greater than the twice of the focal length, here. Right? Then the image is real, Yes, real. And inverted, and smaller than the object. Here it is smaller than the object. Object is like this, smaller than the object. Next one, which is not real, but very far. That means infinity, right? At the focal point, real, inverted, much smaller than the object. That is much smaller than the object, right? Okay, then there is concave mirrors. With the convex mirrors, regardless of the position of the image, only one, regardless of the position of the object, only one type of image will be formed, right? The size may differ a little bit, but every time there is a virtual image smaller than the object. A virtual image smaller than the object is formed in convex mirrors regardless of its position, and that is upright, right? That is upright. Lazy, right? Any question? You have not then we check it. Right. Okay. So next, I'm going to give you a small break. Then I'm going to start the refraction. So please, if you have not drawn this, please draw it. Right? Here, the point is drawing. Right? And if you practice it, it will be very easy for you to recall what you have done. Examination, right? If you are not done, if you are trying to recall the main race at the examination hall and try to get the focal point, time will be wasted. Then but examination, we are fighting with the time also, right? So you can save a lot of time if you follow this method, right? So please follow. Right, okay. Right, okay. Okay, I'll keep the camera, right? So you have requested me to keep the camera. Right, okay. I'll keep the camera. So you are having 5 minutes, right? Only 5 minutes. Right, let's go to the next. I hope you have this one. If you have any question, you can ask me, right? Nobody has posted that one. Question, yes, 10th one, we discussed up to the 10th part, right? So we come to the next part, that is refraction of light, right? In this previous one, using mirrors and some other surfaces, we can totally send the ray to the previous media which it was coming from, right? Refraction means when a ray comes from one media and enters to another media. Media and medium is again same, right? Right? When a ray comes from one media and enters to another media, if it bends, right? If it bends towards the normal or away from the normal, right? We don't try to talk anything about the bending towards or away. If it bends, that is called a refraction. When a ray enters from one media to another media, if the ray bends, that is called a refraction of light. So first you should know, this is very important. Again, in the previous class, I explained you what happens when a ray comes from a rarer media to a denser media and from denser media to a rarer media. Let's first try to identify that one, right? This is the medium. So this is the line which separates the two media, right? This is the normal. Right. The other one. Right. let's take this as air, glass, air, glass. Instead of water, I'm going to take glass. Right. So what is a denser media? What is a denser media? Media which doesn't allow. You will get this concept very clearly when I'm explaining the next one also, right? Ilaika explain karona mudata make concept clearly, but now please try to catch this if you are not familiar with this one. Theory mage apu katte danna. Right? No problem. This is for the others, right? Our pathway gets shortened and pathway gets long. Over tering na ina image එක right? So wait, but try to just keep that in mind, right? So denser media means any media which doesn't allow the passage smoothly, right? Which creates troubles, right? So rays don't like to go in denser medias, right? When it comes to rarer media, so this denser and rarer depends on the two media comparatively, right? Comparatively, if this one allows the ray to flow freely, this is the rarer media. Comparatively, this creates a lot of troubles, lot of barriers, lot of difficulties. This is a denser media, so it is comparative, right? There is no set that these are the denser medias and these are the rarer medias likewise, right? It's comparative, right? So here, imagine this is glass. So glass creates lot or more troubles, more difficulties for rays, right? A ray comes here like this. Now it should go in this pathway like this, but now it meets a different media which is easy to travel rather than the previous media. So it try to extend its pathway. But please remember, right? It tries to extend its pathway. As a result of that, it bends away from the normal. So this was the line which it which should travel if there is no any refraction. Now it refracts and travel in the pathway like this. So this is bending away from the normal. Actually, from the pathway it should go if there was no refraction, right? Bending away, bending away from the normal, right? So this is the angle of incidence. This is the now refraction, angle of refraction. Now imagine a ray comes from air. It should go along this pathway. Now it meets a denser media. That means disturbances are high, so it tries to shorten its pathway. As a result of that, it bends towards the normal. It bends towards the normal. Again, this is the angle of incidence and this is the angle of refraction. Please measure the angles with the normal. Angles okkom normal එකෙන් මනින්න. හරි? මෙන්න කොහොමද මනින්නේ? Right. I hope this is clear for you, right? We'll draw the next one also. Right? Then it will be easy for you to understand. This shortening the pathway and long pathway. Right? Okay. It will take a few minutes for me to draw this. Right. Imagine this is a glass block. It's a glass. There's a practical for you to do this, right? I hope you have done it. Actually, it was even in grade 9 also, right? The practical which you are doing by looking through a glass block and erecting pins. Pins practical ray diagrams how the ray goes. The practical is there. Please see that one. That is very easy, right? Imagine a ray comes like this. Right. This is the normal now. This is air and this is glass. So where should it bend? Towards the normal. Normal. Right. So again, there is another normal here. Then this emits parallel, right? Not in the same path, parallel to the ray that is that was fallen on this block of glass, right? Parallel. These things you should identify by doing that practical. Right? So this is the pathway. So if we take this one here, the ray comes, the angle I gets refracted, angle R, right? Here also we can name the angle R. Now here this, the one which Trishan was talking, right? These angles, in mathematics you know, right? This angle is equal to this angle when these two lines are parallel to each other. Yes, these two lines should be parallel to each other. Then this angle equals to this angle, right? Okay. And this is the E, angle of emergence, emerging angle, right? Incident ray, refracted ray, emerging ray. Now let's try to identify the previous thing. Path gets shortened. So this is glass, this is air, this is air. So here, this is the denser media. I was just talking a lot about getting shortened. Pathway or path gets shortened. This try to take a short path. Let's see. If this was not refracted, if this was traveling in the same pathway it came, it should be coming in this way. I'm going to name it A and this one as B. Now very clearly you can say, we can see the path A is longer than the path B. So if the ray was traveling in path A without any refraction, it will have to go a long pathway. But this media is difficult for the ray. So it tries to shorten its pathway by bending for this direction. Now we should be able to identify this. The thing which I was talking, shortening its path. The opposite happens when it is entering from a denser media to a rarer media. Have neither? It clear? I have named 13, question number 13, AB in incident ray. X, Y, normal. Simple I, angle of incidence. Simple R, angle of refraction. BC, refracted ray. MN, normal. CD, emerging ray. Simple E, angle of emergence. Right. Write the two laws of refraction. Easy. Right? Very easy. First one, all these rays, emerging ray and the refracted emerging ray, refracted ray, and the normal drawn to the two surfaces, or the normal drawn to the line which separate the two surfaces. All these things should be in the same plane or on the same plane. Better to use the preposition on the same plane. That means if one ray comes like this, the idea of that one, right? If one ray comes like this, it doesn't change its plane. When it comes like this, it doesn't turn into your way, right? It goes in the same way. Refraction means it just changes pathway. Pathway change on the same plane. So all these rays are in the same plane. Same plane. First thing. And the next thing, right? The sine value, sine I divided by sine R, sine R is a constant. Snell's law, right? It's a constant for two particular media. Actually, you will be doing all these calculations this is not that much important because this value is not taken into calculations in O levels, right? May value for glass and air, there is a value 0.7, 0.8, likewise, right? These values are taken into consideration and taken into calculations in A levels. Right? This one, this constant, right? From glass to air to glass, then it also changes, right? That is not in O levels, right? Just remember this one, 2 laws. That's all. Right? Okay. Any question? Any question? Have any questions? Just ask me. These sign values I don't want erosion saying trigonometric sign chart sine, cosines and tangents chart use when we were doing O levels, actually we used use trigonometrics, right? But as I know, it is not in your syllabus. Syllabus sines, cosines and tangents. Now if we take the measure, imagine the angle is 23, right? With 23, you know. The angle here is, let's say it is 40, make a 40. R value should be less than 40, say 25. Then there is a table, right? Just like logarithmic table. That's a logarithmic table like a set sine, cosine, tangent values, right? 40 value.
Sir.
Yes.
So we do have that in our syllabus.
Right. Yeah, right. Okay, then see that one and get the value. A media value, right? Right. Then it's easy. Right. Okay. Then see that one and divide it and you will get a value. That is the value which is specific for those two media. And glass Q standard, there is an answer, but again, there are different types of glass, right? Glass water Q real life, right? Real life, purity of water changes. So the refractions change. Likewise, lot of differences are there, right? But you don't work with this value, you will work with this value in A levels. A levels will make it 0.8 angles. So actually, this is what you have to do. 2 angles are given and you are given to identify the this ratio, and this ratio is given, and imagine you are given the angle of incidence and you are asked to identify the angle of refraction. Likewise, right? So that is easy, right? Then let's talk about special case where when a ray is coming from a denser media to a rarer media. When a ray is coming from a denser media to a rarer media, right. This is the way. Right. So if we increase, now I'm going to increase the angle, only increase the angle. Then this will come like this. At one point, when I'm increasing, now I'm increasing the angle of incidence, I, right? I'm increasing I. Then R also gets increased. At one point, R reaches its maximum. That means when I'm increasing this one, the refracted ray starts to travel. Along the line which separates these two surfaces. That means here. So please remember, this only happens when a ray goes from a denser media to a rarer media. Right? There's no such thing. Right? So in this place, now this angle is important for us because after this one, until this point, the ray got refracted. From here onwards, it is going to be reflected. So this angle is important. We call it as the critical angle and use the symbol C to denote that one. Critical. This is critical because from after this one, right? If we reduce the angle, refraction happens. If we further increase the angle, reflection will happen. So this is critical. We call this as the critical angle. Right. Then I further increase. Right. Then if I further increase I, like this. Now, previously it was traveling along this surface. Now it starts to come to the same medium. So if it comes to the same medium, now it's a reflection. Same medium or reflection. Right. I is I. As a reflection happens. Right. But there is a specialty in this reflection. What is the specialty? In all the other previous reflections, even though we didn't mention that one specifically, only 95% or somewhere around 95% of rays get reflected. The other 5, sometimes they get absorbed to that surface. As there are glasses, sometimes they get refracted. There's several things happen, right? So there is a 5% wastage. 5% wastage. That's why we can see. Mirror absolutely. Imagine you are going to see yourself or some person from a mirror and also the real image, right? There is a difference, small difference. That difference is due to that 5%, right? But here there is no wastage. There is no such wastage of the rays, right? So we call this as total reflection. And also this comes to the same medium, comes in. So we call this the correct name, total internal reflection, internal. This concept, this phenomenon is used for the communication in most of the cases, right? Now imagine you are going to get a tube, right? That is how I think most of you and I are connected using the fiber optic cables, right? Now the data can be transmitted with the speed of light with very less amount of wastage, right? This is a tube, a long tube, like this. We should project that ray in a way to exceed, the critical angle, right? This should be a denser media and this should be a rarer media. Then this should be higher than the critical angle. Then it will become like this. Here also, in mathematics, you know this one, I equals I, and this will be reflected. Then the ray is going along this tube like this with the speed of light. Like if you can send light rays like this, right? If you bend the surface, this can travel, right? No problem. Right. So this concept is used in most of the medical purposes also. You know that for some operations, right, we want to cut the body without cutting or prior to cutting to identify several things. We can send a camera with a torch. Torch ka gilla camera with gilla on the bag, right? There are special equipments, mammogramming, right? To check, especially if you're having gastritis, there are some levels of gastritis. There are severe wounds inside your gastric, right? To check them and to check several things, right? You can send. So there are some of your parents are doctors, so just ask them extra knowledge, right? If you want to examine it, you can send cameras and watch those surfaces. For that one, you cannot send a direct or straight tube. So there are bended structures which can send the light. Right? Okay. Fiber optics. Right? Okay. Those are the applications they are given. Right? Even for that one, yeah. That is discussed in Big Bang Theory a lot, right? Right. Any question? Questions? And these by prisms, even lazy, right? Prisms also try to draw this. Yeah, prism it is important. That was my A-level physics question. A-level physics prism A-level physics, right? There we have to calculate the values and everything, right? For you, there won't be such things just to identify, right? That is the importance. If you wish to do science means both mathematics and biology, right? Both are considered to be science stream. Physics is a necessity unless you are doing agriculture. So for these things, this is very important to have the basic knowledge. Grade 9 knowledge make it only it is very important if you have this basic knowledge. So you can build up on this knowledge, right? If you are doing biology, the whole syllabus is important, right? Biology, chemistry, physics, all three are there. Right. Right. Let's go for lens. Lens means the particular thing which use this concept, the refraction of light. Refraction of light. So there are several types of lens, right? This is a convex surface, right? If one side is plane and the other one is convex, plano convex, right? Names. Both sides are convex, biconvex. This is concave surface. If one side is concave, other side is plane, plano-concave, right? If both sides are concave, biconcave. Likewise, there are different. But what we consider is biconvex lenses and biconcave lenses, right? Again, in a lens also, I hope these things are easy for you. Convex lens. Convex lens converge the light. So if a parallel beam of light falls like this, it gets collected at one point. It is called F, focal point. The distance from here to here is the focal length, right? Biconcave now, please remember, right, when you are drawing, now what happens is a refraction. It should go beyond to the other side. Like this. Like this. Then extend them and get the F here. Right here. It's easy. Right? One question. Yes. Blood cells. Actually, red blood cells. Red blood cells are biconcave. What is the reason for that? Biconcave nature. The reason for the biconcave nature of the red blood cells. Why it is biconcave? Surface area right? Okay. Now again for this lens also, we should identify some principal rays, main rays, right? Which can be applied for all the other places, right? Main rays. If this comes in this pathway, what will happen? If this comes in this pathway, what will happen? Right? Likewise. So let's go for this main rays in the biconvex lens. Right? Biconvex lens. Okay, you can draw it like this, but what I like is draw it like this. That's all. That's enough. Right. This is F. This is F. Twice the focal length. Twice the focal length. Right? Okay. You can take any side, right? If the ray can come here, then it will be going here. The ray can come here, then it will be going for this side. Sides can be interchanged, right? If a ray comes parallel to the main axis, it will go like this through the focal point. Through the focus, focal point again same, right? Make a parallel again. Right. So it comes through the focal point, it goes like this. Right? The other one is opposite of that one. If some ray comes through the focal point, through the focal point, that goes parallel to the main axis. Second one. Right? Third one, these two are the most useful, right? These two are the most useful. Third one, you can take this one. If, what they have taken? Yes, C. This one, but it's not that much useful. If a ray comes along C, go like this, right? These two are the most useful. 1 and 2, right? When you are drawing, right? Now again, let's go and place an object in several distance and see how the image is formed. Again, please draw it with me, right? Or after me. If you have drawn, no problem. Try check it with me and again draw it, right? And the Latino come up next. Good. If twice the focal length, twice the focal length, right? Let's keep the object again, just like in the previous case, in between the focal length and the lens, in between the focus and focal point and lens, right? Object, let's take black color. Right. If the ray comes like this, parallel to this one, it goes along the focus. It goes along the focus like this. Here, let's take this one. Second, right? So you can see, right here, if we extend these two lines from this side, we cannot get an image. So let's extend this backward. Right. Then you will see an image is formed here. Okay, let me check. Okay. Right. So you can see an image was formed at the same side. Image was formed the same side of the object. Same side of the object. Now it is larger, not real. Rays are not actually meeting, not real, but upright. Please remember this one here. This is the incident which happens when you are using the hand lens. Hand lens use simple microscope This is the incident which happens, right? Make the incident. We are trying to get a large image. We don't need that to be projected onto a screen. After screen, we just want to increase the size of that one. Here, you can see the size is increased. Small letter can be enlarged. Right? In a simple microscope. It is using one lens, right? You don't learn about the compound microscope structure. Compound microscopic structure, but in the compound microscope, we use two lenses, right? In the second lens, this is the image. So image is again magnified. We can magnify largely. When you come to the glasses, lens, right? Again, it is magnified. So twice it is magnified in compound microscopes, right? Compound microscope, they are magnified. That's all. Image is again taken as the object. This image is taken as the object. Right? Again, we can place another lens here and magnify this one. Right? Right. Actually, it is kept here, right? I right. First situation. This is important, right? It's important because they have taken another topic to describe this one, but we can here very easily describe that concept, right? Simple microscope. The hand lens. Second situation. Keep it in the F. On F. Then you will get two parallel lines. Then they never meet with each other in either sides, this side or this side. That means the image is formed in infinity. We are not trying to define the characteristics of that image. Right. Now, here, first ray. Now let's take the ray which is coming long if right, this we can take. It comes like this. So where should it go? Parallel. Now it meets here. Now we can see image is formed here. Now it is a real image. The two rays actually meet with each other. A real image, but upright, inverted here. Inverted. Size is large. Larger than the object. Right? Okay. Next position. Now we kept the object in between F and 2F. Now we are going to keep it on 2F. Comes like this, goes along F. Now it comes parallel. Now it should meet at 2F. Exactly. So the size of the object is similar to the size of the image here. Again, a real image inverted and the place is on 2, right? Now let's keep it beyond 2F. and you will see an image is formed in between F and 2F. The size is smaller than the object. The size is smaller than the object. If we keep it far away, an image will be formed on F. An image will be formed on F. Right? Any question? Now, questions here. Magnify. Okay, give me a second, Trisha. Parane kane wala තියෙන්නේ. අර concentration ගැන තිබ්බ image එක වල තියෙන්නේ.
No sir, I sent you a new file. Did you see?
ඒ new file එක open කරනකොට එන්නේ අරගමනේ. Concentration ගැන තියෙන scan කරපු image. බලන්න හරියද වෙයි කියලා. 59.32 kilobyte.
Give me a minute, sir. I'll check and see.
Send it. I'll check it. Right. Okay. So let's try to discuss the characteristics quickly. If you have drawn this one, try to quickly draw this one without drawing a single ray. අපි එක ray එකක්වත් අඳින්න නැතුව ඉක්මනට characteristics ටික අඳුර ගන්න බලමු පුළුවන්ද කියලා දැන්. Right. You should draw thrice before coming to this one. තුන් පාරක් කරලා තමයි මේකට එන්නේ. හා? F 2F F 2F, right. Keep it on the surface, right. If the object is here, the image was also formed in the same side, large image, virtual. Right, like this. If it is on F, the image is formed in infinity. Right. Between F and 2F, image is formed far away from 2F. Larger in size. Larger in size. If it is on 2F, an image is formed on 2F on the other side is exactly similar to the size, right? If it is far away from, not far, away from the 2F, an image is formed in between 2F and F. If it is far away, that means infinity. Cannot draw that here. Image should be formed on F, which is very small. Right. Size gets reduced. You can see for this direction. These are the relationships that you should identify. We have pain node. Pain nothing node. Right. I can use the ruler, but that will take a lot of time. Right? And you should draw. And the equations identify. Right. Okay. Let's go to the tutorial. Next one. Now, concave lens, right? I hope these things are clear. Api compare the characteristics quickly. Right? It's easy. Than focal length, virtual image, right? Virtual, upright, larger than the object. Yes, virtual, upright, larger than the object, right? Second occasion, focal length, we cannot find that one. Third occasion, F2F, real, inverted, larger than the object. Yes, real, inverted, larger than the object. Next one, on twice the focal length, 2F. So it is real, inverted, same size of the object, right? Next one, greater than the focal length, greater than twice of the focal length, inverted, smaller than the object. Inverted, smaller than the object. The final one, infinity, right? Real inverted, much smaller than the object, much smaller than the object, right? Then they have given hand lens, right? Hand lens, simple microscope, right? Before that, let's go for the other lens also. That is easy. I discussed the focal point with you. Concave lens, right? Concave lens. Concave lens only, just like in the previous convex mirrors, one type of image is formed, right? Take angle, easy, very easy, regardless of the position of the object. Right, and there's the hand lens situation. You can identify that one. Again, draw it, right? Separately draw it and try to identify how the hand lens works. You should keep the object in this place. F1 lens, F1 lens in between. That is, we are going to keep the object in between the F and the lens, right? If the lens try. Now I have received. Yeah, there is this problem. Trishan, this is not from your syllabus, right? Make ogulu out of syllabus. That means Mika hadan ogulu danne theory. Mika hadan theory danne ogulu. This is there are some teachers, they are giving questions directly from A level, right? Monkey A level to make it. The problem, the question is how much will the letters printed on a paper appear raised? Apide kona make a right? So you don't learn this theory. So make a theory name. Paper appears raised when a glass block of 9 centimeter is placed in and viewed from above. Refractive index of the glass is 1.5. 1.5, yes. After the class, right? Others, this is not important. This is not a question of your question. There can be questions. Even extra danapul have make syllabus these A levels. Snails law dala A levels. Don't worry. It's a big right. Let's go for the tutorial on theory just right? Right. The reversibility of light, no problem. Reversibility of light, take a keyword theorem, right? Okay, then let's try to discuss. We discussed only a few questions there. So I have discussed all my revision questions. Revision questions, right? We were not able to finish all the questions. Let's try to finish a few questions. Textbook exercises, right? As we have the time and everything now, nothing to be worried about. Right? Now we are in the 5th lesson. We only have to cover other 10 lessons, right? That is, but the 14th lesson is very small one. Acids and bases is a small one. So we have a considerable amount of time, but we have to discuss some other lessons. I decided, or I thought to give you second lesson as a recorded video, but as we have time, let's discuss it at some time, right? We can discuss and we have to discuss the tutorial of the grade 10, 20th lesson. Take a tutorial discuss right? After finishing the 6th lesson, I feel I am free. 6th lesson finish I feel, right? Because most of the students were in my class after the 6th lesson, and also the lessons after that one, except for transistors and resistors and of the production of electricity, except for those 2 lessons, others are easy. Lazy, acids and bases, heat, those are very easy. So I feel that I am a bit relaxed. Relax, mama, not you. Right? Name two types of mirrors. Always produce virtual images. Always produce virtual images. Definitely plane mirrors. And also, yes, in the concave mirrors, virtual images were produced, but not always. So, convex mirrors and plane mirrors. Answer the following questions regarding the images formed when an object is placed between the mirror and the focal length of a concave mirror. See how easy they are as we have finished this, just finished this one activity, right? Is the image upright over? Answer the following questions. Between the mirror and the focal point. Mirror and the focal point, right? Is the image upright or inverted? Mirror and the focal point. It is upright, right? Is the image larger than the object or smaller than? Larger. Is the image real or virtual? Virtual. When the object is moved towards the pole, that means towards the mirror, right? Will the image become smaller or larger? Will the image become smaller or larger? Actually, it becomes smaller. Right? It becomes larger towards the F. When you move towards the F, it becomes larger. Draw it and check, right? Right? At F, infinity right?
Excuse me, sir. Sir, this the image formed is real, right, or virtual?
Mitanahan position, right? This one. Concave mirror. Image formed.
So then, sir, for the previous question, you can say convex also.
Concave, right? Minna position. Here, this one, and let's take this one. This one, make a here. If we take it here, further here, larger. I becomes large, so small, right? Towards the elegant varies, becomes small. What do you get? Prashant, any question?
No, sir.
What lens is the part? Lens is the right? Draw it. Mama nikam kira ki, mama nikam bala ki me right? Just the answers. You should draw it. Right? In the examination, I don't expect you to draw, but here, practice it. You can close your eyes and give the answers, right? But you should practice. What distance do you get the largest image from a concave mirror? From a concave mirror. Again, say that. At which distance you get the largest image? Largest here the problem is they don't talk about or they don't give us the image whether it is real or virtual. Question. This is a question with this one, right? At which object distance do you get the image, largest image, virtual or real? So there are two answers. If you are expecting the virtual, again you can get between F and 2F, sorry, between F and lens near to F. If we keep the object nearest to the F, that will give the largest virtual. Here, right here in this point, if we just move away from the F at this point also, it will give a very large image that is real. So it changes in between F. Make a around F, right? If we just move it here, right? That will form a virtual image that is very large, right? This side image will be formed in this side. If we just push, just means very small amount. For the other side of the focus, the real image will be formed again very large, right? The question is, they have not mentioned us whether it is virtual or real, but these are the two positions, right? Left and right of the F, right? Place an object in front of the convex lens at different positions and observe the image at each case. Convex lens, convex lens, right? Write two properties common to those images, right? Convex lens. Now they are asking convex lens. Yes, convex lens. Come on. So place an object in front of a convex lens at different positions and observe the image at each case. Write two properties common to all these images. What are the properties? There are several questions in this one. In the Sunday class also made this one, but as is the book, I should go. This again, it's better if it was convex mirror. Convex mirror, we can mention all these properties, right? Mangitan equal to print a convex mirror, right? Question number 2, what is meant by the term refraction of light? Bending of light when it is traveling from one medium to another medium. Draw a ray diagram to show the refraction occurs when light enters denser to rarer. So, denser to rarer, what happens? It should be bending away from the normal. Rarer to denser, it should be bending towards the normal. Name rays and angles of the following ray diagram. Question number, yes, very easy. AB, incident ray. BC, refracted ray. CD, emerging ray. ABX, that is incident angle. YBC, refracted angle, angle of refraction. NCD, angle of emergence. Question number 3. Actually, we did only until the question number 3 in the previous class. The figure shows different light rays entering a rare medium from a denser medium. Copy these figures and complete the ray diagrams. First one. Before the critical angle, it should be going away. Refraction before the critical angle. Critical angle calling. Very easy, right? First image. At the critical angle, it should be going along the surface. After the critical angle, it should be coming in. You should mark this one. Both the angles should be equal. They are the one which they are expecting. This should be marked as R, this is I. Right? Okay. This is a question. Yes, all main questions. Check the tutorial. Every year there is a question, right? What is meant by the term total internal reflection? Right. When, this should be mentioned, when a ray is entering, from a denser media to a rarer media, if the incident ray exceeds the critical angle, that ray gets reflected to the same media or medium. That is known as the total internal reflection. Give an example for a situation where total internal reflection occurs. You can give a lot of examples, right? Optic fibers or something in the medical field, like this, right? Okay. let's discuss. So there are a lot of questions, right? There are a lot of questions from your past papers, right? We'll discuss not in the next class. In the next class, we will finish the sixth lesson. Sixth lesson I'll upload the tutorial. I will discuss, and for the reserved parts, make it 20th tutorial. We'll allocate one day, right? The best day, as I feel, is the one we discuss the 7th lesson, acids and bases. That is a small lesson. We can quickly cover that tutorial. Tutorial is already with you. 7th tutorial. I only have to give you the 6th tutorial, right? 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, everyone is there with you, right? And they are link download. When you are discussing, that means the week after this one, not this Sunday for the Sunday people, 2 weeks after this one, right? So we will discuss all the questions because we don't have that much of time here and we are not in a hurry to finish everything. So if you have not covered these things, if you are not done, today you learn the theories, please finish all the questions, especially examination questions. Yes, we have finished half of this examination questions, right? In the paper class, but finished it, right? So we are going to discuss the rest of the tutorial in the with the 7th tutorial. Huh? In the previous class also we did the same. Right, okay. Any question except for Prashant's question? Any question? Any other question? In question 1 part 3, can we take objects distance as f on f because it's no. In අපි දැන් මෙහෙමයි on f කියලා ගන්න එපා. Don't take it as on f, right? On f කියලා කියනකොට large කියලා අපි දන්නේ නැහැ. We don't know නේ. අපි දැන් theoretically we can say it should be largest at f කියලා. හැබැයි ඒක එච්චර it's not really image විතර එකක් හැදෙනවද නැද්ද අපි දන්නේ නැහැ. We have nobody have seen that one. අපි large නැද්ද කියලා ගන්න බෑ. ඒතර ඇත්තටම වෙන්නේ ඇත්තටම image එකක් හැදෙන්නේ නැහැ. When something is kept on infinity, right? මේක කොච්චර දික් කරත්, right? If they are exactly parallel, එහෙම අඳින්නවත් බෑ අපිට. හරි? But if they are exactly parallel, they will never meet. හරි? කවදාවත් මේක හම්බ වෙන්නේ නැහැ නේ. හරියට parallel ඇන්දොත් එහෙම. Because actually there is no image formed at infinity. අපි නිකන් ගන්නවා image එක හැදෙන්නේ infinity එකේ කියලා. But actually infinity එකේ මේක හැදෙන්නේ නැහැ. It's just a theoretical concept, right? ඒක නිසා infinity එක ගන්න එපා. ඒකයි question එක පොඩි වැරද්දක් තියෙන දෙපැත්ත ගන්නවා. හරි? ඒක ගන්න එපා. Right. Okay, then if you don't have any question, that's it for today, right? Thank you very much and have a good night.